All right, welcome back to the Nourished and Thriving Mama podcast. I'm so excited that you're here. Today's episode is going to be all about you're eating healthier, but you're not losing the weight. And 3 mistakes that you might be making that could be the reason why your healthier eating attempts are not equaling weight loss. Eating healthy won't automatically equal weight loss if you're making these 3 mistakes. All right, let's dive in. So you've made some changes. You've been swapping out treats. You're like not having the sugar. You stopped drinking as much alcohol. You're doing all these trade-offs. You're trying to eat healthier, but the weight loss is just not moving. You could be making one of these 3 mistakes, and that could be the reason why your attempts to eat healthier are not equaling the weight loss that you're looking for. So let's dive into the first mistake that you could be making. You're eating healthy foods, but you're not quite paying attention to the portions of these healthy foods. Now, certain types of foods, things that are higher in fat, those are going to be more calorie dense. So where I see a lot of people fall into a bit of a problem is with things like peanut butter, hummus, avocados, oils. Those types of healthy fats are very calorie dense. So if you're not quite paying attention to the amounts that you're having, especially with peanut butter, because I see this over and over again with people, if you're not paying attention to how much you're having, you could be, by just having a teaspoon or tablespoon or 2 of peanut butter, having like 200 calories. And you're thinking, I barely had anything, but that is just a very calorie dense food. So if you're not watching the portions of the types of foods that you're having, eating healthy foods won't put you in the calorie deficit that you need to actually see weight loss happening. And the major foods are usually things that have those healthy fats. The biggest ones is the peanut butter, the nut butters, and like hummus, which people are like, oh, I'm doing great, dipping my veggies into hummus, eating the whole container of hummus, and then not realizing how many calories are actually inside that. Because hummus is the chickpeas blended with oil, and it's that oil that's really getting in there, making it more calories than you think that you're actually consuming. So if you're not paying attention to the portions of the foods that you're eating, you're going to not see the weight loss that you're looking for. So all your attempts of eating healthier foods, choosing healthier options, won't get you into weight loss if you're not creating the calorie deficit that you need. And that's where the second mistake comes in. If you're not tailoring the way that you're planning to lose the weight to a strategy, and in my coaching programs, I use a macro blend, then you're not setting yourself up for the right goals. What I have people do inside my programs is we follow what I call a macro blend. And the macro blend will give you your calorie range for weight loss. It'll also set you up with your maintenance calories. So we know this little window under your maintenance calories will put you in a weight loss stage. Now, if you're in that weight loss stage, we should be able to see weight loss happening as long as the calories are in the right place. But then our other focus is on hitting certain amounts of protein. We need that protein to help keep muscle on our body. So protein is a very important macro to be striving towards. If you're just simply eating less, choosing healthier foods, but not quite paying attention to the compositions of those foods, that might be holding you back some. Because yeah, we want to see weight loss, but we want to be seeing fat loss. And so making sure that we're getting the right amounts of protein into our diet is going to help maintain the muscle while losing the fat. And if we can keep more muscle, we can burn more calories at rest. And that helps better set you up in maintenance, be able to eat more without gaining. So making sure that we're keeping enough protein in our diet while in the weight loss phase is going to be so important. Now, the other macros are important too. So when I have people do the macro blend, we make sure you're hitting your protein targets and incorporating 2 to 4 cups of veggies in the day so that we're getting the fiber in there too. Protein, fiber, calories are the top important things to be paying attention to within your healthy eating. Now, we don't want to strictly just cut out carbs because the carbs are giving you energy. So if you're not eating enough carbs in your diet, you're going to feel sluggish. You're going to get to like 2 or 3 o'clock and you're going to be like, I need more coffee. I need more coffee. I need sugar. I need something, because you're not consuming enough carbs to keep your body going. Carbs are your friend for energy. And if you are not having enough fats, you're going to start affecting your hormone health. So there's a balance. We want to hit our protein targets, getting in those veggies, and then having carbs for our energy and enough fat for, hormone health and everything functioning really well in your body. Because you do have certain amounts of fat requirements for good functioning for your body. Now, in my programs, like I said, I'll give you those numbers to tailor to your activity level, your weight, your height, all those details to make sure that if fat loss is your goal, we have it tailored with the right macros for this strategy. Simply just eating healthy and not paying attention to those specific macros could be a reason why you're not seeing the weight loss that you're looking for. And then the third mistake I see a lot of people making is that they're not even paying attention to how much they're having of anything. They're not tracking anything. And I get a lot of resistance from some people with the tracking. But I'm telling you, it is so important to track your food, especially in the very beginning of your weight loss. Unless you, and even I still track, unless you have like a specific brain that like knows exactly how much calories are in the things that you're having and you can keep track of everything, which I don't think you're going to be able to do that because mom brain, we got a lot of stuff going on. You don't want to just track it. We want to make sure that you're hitting the right amount of protein in a day. We want to make sure that your calories are actually in a range to see weight loss. If you're just blindly eating, not paying attention to portions, a couple bites of chips over here, the eating a chicken nugget off your daughter's plate here, we're not paying attention to how much we're actually consuming. So your attempts of healthier eating are not being monitored to see if you're actually in a range to see weight loss. So that's another mistake I see people falling into. Tracking doesn't have to be something you do for the rest of your life. It just is like a way of checking in on yourself, a way of auditing yourself, a way of making sure that you're strategically setting yourself up to be able to see weight loss actually happening. I do this. I don't track every single day anymore, but I did during weight loss majority of the time, or when things stalled, I would get back into tracking. But my approach now with maintaining, every so often I'll do like an audit to myself and I'll just track my food for like a week or two, just to kind of reset, recalibrate everything, make sure I'm on the right track, make sure I'm still hitting enough protein. But it becomes second nature as you've been doing it over and over and over and over again, because you're like, okay, well, I already know this is how much protein I'm going to get from this meal because I'm used to eating this. But the tracking in the very beginning is so important. And it's also important because it's going to open your eyes up to things that you may not even know are happening. Like people will go and they'll choose a salad at a restaurant and they'll be like, okay, I chose the healthier option. Meanwhile, that salad was actually like 1,000 calories and they may have had a better choice of getting a sandwich or a burger. The burger might have been less calories than the salad that you're having. That is why tracking is so important and knowing exactly the portions of what you're having within your foods. And I simplify that in my programs. I make it easy. Fit Mom Foundations, I give you recipes. I also have a little AI assistant that can help you with meal planning so that you can have meals that are tailored to your unique macro blend. It's super cool. And then in my Nourish and Thrive program, you get more direct coaching from me and you get the Fit Mom Foundations program inside there as well. It's super cool. But if you're making one of these 3 mistakes, it could be the reason why your attempts of eating healthier are not quite equaling seeing weight loss. So we want to pay attention to the portions of the foods that we're having. We want to actually set ourselves up with a strategy that's giving us the right amount of protein, right amount of calories, sprinkling in fats and carbs, making sure we're still getting veggies for fiber, and then tracking for a little bit. And there's so many free apps out there that you can use. MyFitnessPal is a good go-to. You don't need the paid version. You can use the free version. But just being mindful and paying attention to these numbers, because simply just eating healthy won't just automatically equal weight loss.